So I wanted to go over this project I've been working on the last couple of weeks. My friends, they ride motorcycles and they have this thing called Cardo, which are pretty expensive, like $400 each. And they have like a special technology, like proprietary mesh network. It goes far, it's very small. Obviously not this. I mean, the thing is like the size of this. But yeah, and I went into this project like, oh, how hard would that be? Anyway, you can see this thing is here, and in the beginning I was playing, one of my own videos. See, and this thing is called My Music 1, so I'm connected to it. This is like very easy to do. There's a lot of tutorials on that. It's like 5 lines of code. Granted, you're importing like 2 libraries that do all the work. But the hard part is bidirectional audio, which, again, when I went into this, I was thinking I could just take a microcontroller, a Bluetooth dongle, and a speaker and put this thing together, but no. And yeah, as I was looking things up, I found Atomic's code from like 5 years ago, and I had to figure out how to get that to work. You can see there's a microphone here, and I'll show like another cliche demo because there's a lot of tutorials out there that show you how to wire these things up and get like a visible reactive waveform. Of course, that's just the basics of it. Like, you gotta actually transform that data, turn it from PCM to wave or whatever. And I was struggling with that too. I was trying to prove that the mic was actually working by taking the buffer sample dumps and like playing them back. That's still something I have to do, but yeah, I'll just go over some things that I learned as I was working on this project. That's perfect. So I've got these 2 sample code. This is when I showed the Bluetooth pairing, this is it. It's called a Bluetooth Sync A2DP. That's like really crisp sound, 44 kilohertz. And I've got this other sample code here, which is just flashing and controlling the microphone. Or not controlling, but getting audio out of it. I'm putting that code on there. Okay, so I think, is it flashed? Let me bring this up. Yeah, so it's flashed. We look at serial plotter, you can see the microphone is live. And the microphone is this guy right here, INMP441. So if I make a sound like a song, you'll see that the waveform respond. So you see like the waves, like, I mean, that clearly must mean it's working, right? But now, let me go to the next thing, which is the got them combined. So this sent me down this rabbit hole of it's called hands-free profile headset, which this is Atomic 14's code, and I had to figure out how to make it work. But yeah, I also noticed that his video is like 5 years old, and at that time it was like Python 3.9. That was around the time they were removing package resources, moving it into something else. I guess it was like part of setup utils or setup tools. Anyway, that was something I had to figure out, but this is not supposed to be a tutorial. I'm just trying to explain the things I had to do to get this thing to work. So you will see that I cloned the ESP-IDF repo, and I followed the directions to get it to run, or to install it. Oh crap, my bad, this is btstack. We're looking for this guy here. Yeah, so I cloned this and then I did the installation steps. I'm on Windows, so I had to use like install PS1 and export, which I did that with administrative PowerShell, and then you got to do like, you know, allow scripts, but the main thing is you have to export the variables so then you're able to run the idf.py command, you know, the Python command, which here I'm just showing you run this thing called menu config and it allows you to choose options. I'm not trying to show anything specific, I'm just showing that it works. You know, I got it installed. So yeah, and then here you can select like the Bluetooth type. You know, if you wanted classic only, not dual mode BLE, you'd go in here and choose it. But yeah, so then when you've got that set up, you clone the Blue Kitchen Bluetooth stack, and then there's port, the ESP32 port. They've got examples in there, and I believe, I'm pretty sure, the Atomic 14 repo is based on one of these, because, you know, I'm pretty sure it even says it like in the code that it is. The structure is the same. Like, if you look at these example folders, you open them up, there's a CMake list, a main folder, SDK config, that kind of thing. So if you look at Atomic 14's code, it's, you know, the same. And then the important bit is the, where did it go? The important bit is the config H file, which is where you set the pins. So you got the speaker pins for the ESP32, you got the mic pins, which these match what I built. Oh crap, I just like break it on camera. Those pins match what I built here, and it took me like a while to get this stuff to work, like to flash it. And initially I actually cloned the brand new code, the current code, and once I got them to build, there were problems. You know, I'm not really a C++ developer, so I was like, I just went back in time pretty much by version locking. And regarding that, I specifically, where is it? Hold on. Oh yeah. So I had the environment variables, the syspath, I just set it so that, you know, when I did the install and export, Python was 3.9 globally. So then when the ESP-IDF stuff runs, the virtual environment is in 3.9. And there is a requirements.txt file somewhere. And yeah, I set up tools to 81. This, I'm not sure if I did that on purpose, but I mean, I see it in the git diff. But yeah, I know this I definitely did, because you need that for the package resources. But anyway, eventually you get it to build, and then you can build it, and this process takes a bit. But yeah, oh crap, this is another thing. Okay, so I built 3 of these, right? Like, this is number 3. I built 2 of them for my friend, and then I built one for myself just so I could screw around with it in the future. This is not code I wrote. I grabbed this from like Google AI summary, but you do need to know the Bluetooth MAC address. So here's like a basic script that will dump the MAC address of this ESP32. So I'll flash that on there real quick. Okay, so there it spits out the Bluetooth MAC address. You have to take that, you have to put it in that config, or the example file. Hold on. You're going to port ESP32 example. Right in here, there's this device address thing, so I'll make one here. Just take that MAC address, put it in there. My God, what is going on? Let me copy that. There. Oh, I almost thought they were the same. I was like, what? Alright, so you put that there. You can change the name too of what the thing says when it shows up in your when you scan for it in Bluetooth. But so now I will rebuild this. This doesn't take as long as it used to, but when you first build it, it takes a while. It has to build like 1,300 files or something. Wait, did I hit enter? No. No! Build. Yeah, and you can see here it says about import package resources. That was something I was stuck on for a bit when I went back to Python 3.9. Okay, so it says it's built. Now I can flash it. Which, for this, you have to close the Arduinos because they're interfering with that COM5 connection. So flash it. Alright, so now it's, set up. Turn this on. I'll scan for it on my laptop's Bluetooth. So you can see it show up right here. And you can see the other ones I've worked on in the past. So what I wanted to show is that in Audacity, which this is showing what Atomic 14 demoed, you do like rescan audio devices. You can pick it, enable silent monitoring. This is the problem, like there's no audio coming out of the mic. There's supposed to be like a volume here that goes up and down. So it's like I can't record from it. And that's why I didn't figure out, I was like, why it's not working. But there is something interesting. If you look at the serial output of the ESP32, it has this like huge menu, which is programmed in the hands-free demo. Plug it in. So if I enter, you'll see this list of stuff here, like the commands you can do. There's the MAC address of the device. What I wanted to show is like when you change this, like the microphone volume, this responds. Like if you see down here, it says microphone volume gain. So it's like there's something I like messed up where the audio isn't coming out. I don't know if it's because of how I like compiled it and it's like broken or what, but I've kind of lost like drive to work on this project, so I just wanted to remember the process because it was freaking hard to get this thing to work. There's so many like problems I kept running into. I mean, the sample code base is like 5 years old, things change and time moves on. But yeah, it's just, it's just crazy how hard Bluetooth and embedded systems is. It's like you just think, oh, that'll work. I'll just do this, and it's like, nope. But yeah, there it is. My Bluetooth headset.